Day. So, as you guys know, Spider-Man Brand New Day has been filming right now, and we continue to get amazing shots of Spider-Man just going on this tank, being on top of cars. Like, I'm still so in love with this suit, the way everything is looking, the practical effects, the swinging. I'm hoping it all comes full circle. Now, there's actually been so much kind of revealed since we last talked. I feel like I almost should have made it its own video, but we're going to talk about it here on the live stream. So, um, let's get into some of the things that have been happening. Now, I will say some people are going to find some of these photos spoilerish. I don't think they are because of the details that we've been hearing. But I mean, fair warning, if there's anything too spoilers, I am not going to be divulging that. But there was more Tom Holland photos other than him in this armored truck sequence. One particularly of him, but he's built, but he looks nice. But he looks good. One of him visiting the gravesite of Aunt May. My goodness, can there we go. So again, and his fiance, or is it wife now? I don't know if they've gotten married. I know they're engaged. And Zendaya was on set. Now, that's the part where some people thought this was a huge spoiler or like it really ruined something from Spider-Man. But we were actually being told Zendaya on set, she wasn't filming anything. She was literally there just to support Tom and to see him film and to work with him. And I mean, that's kind of common for some celebrity couples. I don't know if you guys know, whenever Zendaya films Euphoria, Tom Holland is apparently on set all the time. And I don't blame him. A set that horny, I'm keeping an eye on my lady. All right. So there's tons of stories of the people in Euphoria. That's like Tom Holland's always here. He's just chilling in his trailer, watching us do our thing. And so Zendaya's doing the same thing. She's gonna film something in the movie, but this specific sequence is not part of that movie. She's just there supporting uh, her fiance. But this part is fascinating. So it looks like I'm guessing this is probably the end of the movie. I think this is for sure the end of the film. It gives me the vibes of the way a Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie would always end at a cemetery or some sort of funeral, right? With these powers, I hold responsibility. I butchered that, but you get what I mean, right? It's Peter Parker finishes kissing MJ and he walks off in the cemetery, all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking this is the end. I've seen some great theories by some fans. Sammy, he was saying that he thinks like maybe the whole movie Spider-Man is actually narrating this adventure he just went on to May. That would be kind of interesting. I wouldn't mind getting some narration. We got some of that in the early Sam Raimi movies where like Peter narrates in the beginning and at the end of the film. The snowy atmosphere also interesting. But if anything, that makes me sad if this is the end of the movie, because it feels like again they're gonna tease us with a snowy Spider-Man movie, but not give us one, because that armored truck sequence doesn't look like it's snowing unless they plan to add in a bunch of VFX to make it look like snow everywhere. It looks like the movie will once again end entering Christmas, entering the winter season, things like that. But very good. And I also even talked about, because there was an up close photo of Tom Holland where you can see his face. Let me see if I got where did I put it? Oh, I got a warning for it. My bad. Sorry. There was an up close photo shot of him with tons of bruises, tons of stuff. And I remember whenever we looked at the Pinterest leak, there was a ton of photos like this in the inspiration. Remember, it was one of the principal photographers was trying to get, a feeling, a look of the movie. And there was a lot of shots of Spider-Man like beat up, just ripped costume, which can you imagine this with the new suit? Oh, it would go so hard. It would go so hard. And looking at him now, this is why I say I think it's the end of the movie. He's gone through a lot. He's battled a lot. He looks beaten, and he's visiting Aunt May. So that's kind of cool. We'll see how it goes down. I don't think it's a huge spoiler because 70% of Spider-Man movies end with a funeral and Spider-Man looking at a cemetery. So it's just part of the formula at this point. All right. Another part though with these set photos is people were then seeing there was a shirt that Spider-Man was wearing. There's so much Tom Holland. I'm sorry, guys. I promise you I'm not doing that on purpose. Good for him. All right, here we go. People have noticed part of Spider-Man's wardrobe or Peter's look is he's wearing a shirt for Del Mar's Deli in the movie Brand New Day. Now, if you guys don't remember, Del Mar was the name of the character that owned the little convenience shop in Spider-Man Homecoming. It's the part where Spider-Man's about to go and do his little rounds and patrol the city. He gets a sandwich, and the guy hits on his aunt. He's like, "¿Cómo está tu hija?" Oh, it's Peter Parker, the Rizzler, right? And people are saying, is this then the job that Peter gets in Spider-Man Brand New? I would not mind it. Of course, I would like to see him be at the Daily Bugle and do something like that. In this interpretation, I just don't know how you make that work. Because J. Jonah Jameson is such a D-bag to this Peter. I mean, Aunt May just died, and there's that scene of Spider-Man looking at the big old Jumbotron of J. Jonah Jameson. Spider-Man is a menace. I was like, why would you want that to be your boss? Why would you want to work for that? Unless it just pays that good with the photos, right? But in nowadays, with phones everywhere, it's like, can't anybody just get a good shot of Spider-Man? I don't know. I would be fine, I guess, if in this interpretation he didn't exactly work for the Daily Bugle, especially since it's like a trashy podcast website, right? Him working for Delmar's Deli, I feel fits in line, and it kind of gives me vibes of like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man working at the pizza shop. Go pizza time. But there was also a great full circle moment that people have brought up because in that scene, if you go back and watch it, Delmar does tell Peter, he's like, "Hey, stay in school, or else you're gonna end up like me." And what happened? Peter did leave school. He's got to get his GED, and he ends up at Delmar's Deli. I feel like that's a cool circle moment. It kind of ties things back to Homecoming, and there's going to be a lot of tiebacks to Homecoming in this movie with like Scorpion. And it's also even going to be tragic because Mr. Delmar's not even going to remember Peter. He was probably one of his favorite customers, always walking in, getting sandwiches and things like that. Completely gone. He's just going to be a random kid who needs a job. So he might not even be nice to him. He'd be like, "Hey, buddy, go clean that. Go clean the bathroom. You come do this." It's like, so even that relationship is broken for him when like Peter's like, "Hey, we used to be kind of friendly with one another." But then again, other people saying that might not be his job. It could just be him wearing the shirt that he got for free because he just still goes there a lot, likes the sandwiches. Or it could just be a callback or Easter egg to the first movie. Because I think even Delmar's Deli shows up as an Easter egg in No Way Home. If you watch No Way Home, there's a scene where like Spider-Man jumps into the sewer and you see Delmar's Deli there. And it's like, oh, it's just a little Easter egg. So it could just be that. But if he ends up working there, I like it. I like it. I think it would be nice. All right. What other thing was popping up? All right. So this just happened as I was going live. People were saying that that during this action sequence, a rhino-shaped head prop was reportedly spotted on the Glasgow set of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Interesting. Fascinating. We still have no idea who the main villain for Spider-Man Brand New Day is. We've heard a lot of reports and people who are confirmed, basically like Tombstone, Tarantula, Boomerang, Scorpion is confirmed. These are like the concrete people. But none of them scream main villain. And I still don't think Rhino screams main villain. But what's fascinating about this is they would break one of Sony's rules that they've been saying lately, where they don't allow Marvel to use somebody that they've been having show up in their solo films. So Rhino in the Craven movie, he shows up there in awful form, which maybe that's why Sony was just like, yeah, MCU you can have him because we messed up bad. Don't forget, Rhino was the guy who just went. Oh, that movie, man. I do not know what Sony was thinking or what they were planning. And that also puts a lot of context into these sequences that we've been seeing with the armored truck. So let me see if I can also find some of these. Because when we look at them, I thought with CGI and once they throw in all the effects that maybe it was just the armored truck that was flipping a lot of these cars, flipping a lot of these things that we were seeing happen. So cool to see Spider-Man there. Because in the background, you've been seeing some cars flipped and whatnot. What if Rhino is actually chasing alongside this truck? And Rhino is actually the thing that's flipping a lot of these cars, causing a lot of these explosions. Maybe both of them are after the Punisher in that truck, and Spider-Man is just trying to get him to him first. Like, I feel like that could be a plausible explanation. I'm trying to see if there's the other shots. It's just been a lot of stuff. A lot of great stuff been coming out, though, from Glasgow. All of it looks really nice. That could be a reason. It just again speaks to how many villains might actually pop up in this movie, how many big roles they have. Like, oh, that looks so cool. And even here, people are speculating about how Spider-Man stops the tank because you can see it looks like Spider-Man throws something. See, flings it. People are being like, "Oh, does Spider-Man get gadgets? Does he have like a web bomb? Does he create something?" Honestly, I think it's gonna be something like a sewer lid. Just he probably just gets a sewer lid from the ground, brings it up to his hand, and throws it frisbee style to like one of the tires, and then it crashes out. That I feel like that's all it could be. I Some people I think are reading too much into thinking it's like a web bomb or some sort of gadget because that looks like a frisbee throw, does it not? Like I don't know, could be something like that. So that's interesting. That's all fascinating. Of course, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not trying to get the entirety of this movie spoiled. There's even been other rumors that I just don't know if I believe all this much. I like Christian Harloff. You guys might know who Christian Harloff is from like the AMC or Collider days. He still has a channel that's doing pretty well for himself on YouTube. He decided to scoop and say that he's heard it's Gwen Stacy who Sadie Sink is playing. I just don't know if I believe that or if they'd want to bring in Gwen Stacy right now with all the MJ stuff and Zendaya for sure coming back. We'll see. If anything, I'm just leaning more towards Sadie Sink probably being an original character. I don't know if she'll for sure be somebody from the comics, but she could very well be. All this is to say, though, a lot of stuff going on. So many aura farming photos from Spider-Man. Like, this is such a cool photo, dude. They nailed down that costume. I can't wait to see it. What do you guys make of some of these details? Whether it's Peter's job, do you think the Rhino is on there? Is in the movie? That prop could literally be anything. I wish we could get a photo of this prop if they have it out there, but it says it is attached to a custom-made vehicle, man. So hopefully we'll get that photo because I mean I'd love to see the Rhino part of the movie. I'd love to see the Rhino part of the movie.